The Charlottesville hoax, for those of you who don't know, is that when the president said there are fine people on both sides, CNN continues to report it as if he meant both sides being Antifa on one side and the white supremacists were literally marching and saying anti-Semitic things in their chanting. Somebody saying it's not a hoax. Boy, it must be your first time on this Periscope. Obviously, and I think any reasonable person would know that when he said there were fine people on both sides, he was talking about of the statue issue, because that's what the protests were about. It was a group of people who came to protest and counter-protest about the existence of Confederate statues. So to say that there are fine people on both sides is a simple statement that there are fine people who like statues, those Confederate statues, and people who don't. And they're fine people, they just disagree on this issue.
Half of the country, at least, believes that President Trump, after the Charlottesville tragedy, they believe that he went on live TV and said something good in support of the white supremacists. Now, do you need to know exactly what words he used in order to know that that didn't happen? No, you do not. You don't need to check the actual words, because that is so ridiculous that even if he were a white nationalist, which he's not, but even if he were, he wouldn't go in front of the public and say that, and then if he did, he certainly wouldn't clarify the next day, no, God, no, I didn't say that, I disavow those guys. But what the Charlottesville thing, when he said there are fine people on both sides, a reasonable person would say, oh, you mean both sides of the Confederate statue controversy, not both sides of Antifa fighting neo-Nazis, all right? That's not anything that anybody would say. That's a ridiculous interpretation. And when he was asked to clarify, sure enough, he said in the clearest possible language, heck no, I don't mean the neo-Nazis, they're completely disavowed. So why would this be the one situation where he was not willing to say what he had said before? It's because it's a misinterpretation. He was completely consistent that there were both good people on both sides of the statue controversy, and very consistent that that does not include any neo-Nazis.